This isn't spring cleaning. This is an elimination. And this was the biggest, most dangerous lie I ever told myself, that I was eating healthy. Have you ever felt that way? Like you were doing everything right, eating the right things, avoiding the wrong ones, but your body still felt heavy, your mind foggy, and there was always this invisible fear of a ticking time bomb inside your chest. I lived with that fear. I tried to manage my high blood pressure, I read everything about stroke prevention, but I was failing in the one place I felt safest. The smell of antiseptic. The deafening silence. That's where my lie ended. The doctor who looked at me, his gaze wasn't pity, it was stern. His diagnosis wasn't heart disease. It was chronic poisoning, by the very foods I trusted as my allies. He said, "Harold, the enemy didn't take you down with a frontal assault. It poisoned you slowly, a little bit each day, right at your own dinner table." From that day on, this kitchen stopped being a place for cooking. It became an interrogation room. Every item in my pantry was a suspect. I spent years investigating, peeling back the layers of marketing, to find the truth behind the sweet promises. And today, I'm not sharing a list. I am publishing the indictment I worked so hard to complete. Over the next 30 minutes, we will unmask 7 impostors disguised as health food. But we won't stop there. For every betrayer exposed, I will show you the fatal flaw in their disguise, a dead simple tell. Once you see it, you will never be fooled again. This is the skill that will protect your heart forever, a cornerstone of senior health. But first, I need help from my jury, from you. Right now, is there an imposter you suspect is hiding in your own kitchen? Drop the name of your suspect in the comments below. Let's solve this case together. And this trial begins right now. The first defendant we will cross-examine is the very one millions of families use to start their day, believing it's protecting them, when in fact, it's the mastermind behind the silent, inflammatory firestorms that begin before you even walk out the door. A lie that is sweet, dangerously sweet. Be ready. I want you to travel back in time with me for a moment. Close your eyes and remember the kitchens of our past. Can you smell the fresh, juicy oranges being sliced in half? Can you hear the whir of the juicer, or feel the sticky pulp on your hands as you squeezed a nutritious glass for your children and grandchildren? We did that with an unshakable belief that we were giving our loved ones the purest, healthiest essence of nature itself. It was a pure act of love. But that old friend from our memories has been replaced. It has been impersonated by a dangerous stranger, a traitor disguised as 100% natural on our supermarket shelves. And today, we will bring that imposter to the stand. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you defendant number 6, bottled fruit juice. The charge: this defendant has exploited the good name of fruit to commit the most sophisticated robbery in plain sight. It steals the most precious component and leaves behind a ticking sugar bomb, directly threatening senior health. The deception: it tempts us with words like 100% pure and no added sugar. And we believe it. Why wouldn't we? It comes from fruit. But here is the truth, the food industry never wants you to know. The evidence is undeniable. First, a visual experiment. One 8-ounce glass of this industrial orange juice contains about 22 grams of sugar. That is the equivalent of eating these 6 sugar cubes all at once. Ask yourself, would you ever voluntarily do that? Of course not. But this defendant has tricked us into doing it every single day without a second thought. So, how is this different from the sugar in a fresh orange? The difference lies in what they have stolen: fiber. Imagine fiber as the traffic cop for sugar. It regulates and slows down the sugar's entry into your bloodstream. When you drink bottled juice, this thief has completely removed the traffic cop. The result? A flash flood of sugar enters your blood, forcing your body to struggle to process it, which over time leads to insulin resistance, inflames your arteries, and is a direct cause of high blood pressure. This is the hardest part for me. I used to pour these glasses of juice for my wife every morning, thinking I was making her healthier. I encouraged my children to drink them instead of soda. I did it out of love, but without the truth. I unknowingly aided the enemy. That's a burden I carry to this day. For this sophisticated deception and the immeasurable harm done to our cardiovascular health, I declare the defendant, bottled fruit juice, guilty. The sentence, not a life sentence, but a smart replacement. Instead of drinking a glass of juice, eat the whole orange. When you eat the whole fruit, you get the traffic cop of fiber back. You still get the vitamins, the natural sweetness, but in the way that nature designed to protect you. I know this information can be a shock. It shocked me, too. If this truth about the fiber robbery was useful and made you think, please comment with the number 1 below. Just the number 1, so I know we are on the same side in this fight for the truth. This sweet betrayer has been exposed. But the next defendant is more dangerous in a different way. It doesn't attack you with sugar, but with another silent killer. Ironically, it's the very food we reach for when we feel tired and sick, believing it will help us recover. A betrayal when we are at our most vulnerable. There are days when the weight of the world seems to settle on our shoulders. You know those days, don't you? A cold sets in, our joints ache, or it's simply been a long, tiring day, and we have no energy left to stand at the stove. In those moments of weakness, what do we crave most? Comfort. Warmth. Something simple and hot that can soothe both body and soul. And for decades, the food industry has given us such a friend, neatly packaged in a tin can. They call it chicken noodle, home-style, hearty soup. They sell us the promise of instant care. But today, I am here to tell you a painful truth: the friend we turn to in our weakest moments is actually one of our most ruthless assailants. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please prepare yourselves to face defendant number 5, canned soup. The charge: this defendant has exploited our trust and our fragile state to inject a silent poison into our bodies. It wears the cloak of comfort, but inside, it contains a weapon of mass destruction for our heart health. What is that weapon? It isn't sugar. It's something even more common: sodium, or as we know it, salt. The evidence is undeniable. First, the salt bomb in a can. The American Heart Association recommends that older adults like us consume only about 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Yet, a single can of soup like this can contain anywhere from 800 to over 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That means with just one comforting bowl of soup, you've consumed nearly your entire salt allowance for the day. It's no different than eating this entire spoonful of salt. So why is sodium so dangerous? Let me explain it simply. Sodium in your body acts like a water magnet. When you eat too much salt, your body holds on to more water to dilute it. This excess water increases the volume of blood inside your blood vessels. The pressure inside builds up, forcing your heart to work much harder to pump blood throughout your body. Day after day, that pressure damages your artery walls, and that is the very definition of high blood pressure, the precursor to a heart attack or stroke. I remember those winter evenings, after a long day of teaching, coming home wanting nothing more than something quick and warm. I opened these cans. I ate them and felt comforted. I thought I was doing something good for myself, a light meal. But in reality, I was forcing my heart to run a marathon when it needed to rest. The feeling of being deceived by my own exhaustion. It's hard to describe. For betraying our trust when we are at our most vulnerable, and for being a ticking sodium time bomb, I declare the defendant, canned soup, guilty. The empowering solution: take back control of your kitchen. Making a large pot of soup on the weekend takes less than an hour. You can use low-sodium broth, add fresh vegetables, and most importantly, you hold the salt shaker. You can portion it, freeze it, and you will have truly comforting meals, made by your own hands to protect you. Now it's your turn. Have you ever reached for a can of soup like this, searching for comfort? If the answer is yes, please comment with the number 2 below. There is no shame. We are all here to learn and change together. We've unmasked the enemies in sugar and salt. But our next defendant is a master of disguise, a chameleon in the kitchen. For years, experts themselves told us to use it instead of butter to protect our hearts. This advice turned out to be one of the most catastrophic nutritional mistakes of the 20th century. Stay with me to find out who this healthy betrayer really is. Do you remember the old black and white commercials? A happy family gathered around the dinner table. The mother, with a gentle smile, spreads a glistening layer of margarine on a slice of bread for her husband and children, saying, "It's the choice of a wise heart." For the entire second half of the 20th century, we were taught a mantra: butter is the enemy. Margarine is the savior. Doctors advised it. Nutritionists praised it. An entire generation grew up with the unshakable belief that they were doing the right thing for stroke prevention and protecting their families. We believed them. We followed their advice. And that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, was the beginning of one of the most catastrophic and tragic nutritional mistakes in human history. Today, we are not just judging a product. We are judging an entire era of misinformation. I present to the court, defendant number 4, margarine and partially hydrogenated oils. The charge. This defendant is not just an unhealthy food. It is a laboratory-created traitor. It promised to protect the heart, but instead, it injected an artificial assassin into our veins, something our bodies have no idea how to process. That assassin's name is trans fat. The evidence is undeniable. First, the Frankenstein fat. So what are trans fats? Forget the complex chemical terms. Imagine this: scientists took cheap, liquid vegetable oils and pumped them with hydrogen gas to turn them solid, giving the product a long shelf life and a buttery texture. This process bent and deformed the natural molecular structure of the fat. It created a Frankenstein fat, a hybrid of food and plastic. Our bodies, after millions of years of evolution, see this substance and are utterly confused. They don't know what to do with such a foreign invader. Second, the scientific death sentence. This artificial fat skyrockets your bad, LDL, cholesterol while simultaneously crashing your good, HDL. Cholesterol, a devastating double attack on your cardiovascular health. It causes inflammation, hardens arteries, and is a direct cause of blockages. Its effects are so horrific that, decades later, health authorities worldwide, including the US FDA, had to admit their mistake and officially ban its use in foods. It was a belated confession for which an entire generation paid the price. I remember my mother. She was a wonderful woman who always wanted the best for her family. I remember how proud she was when she replaced the butter dish in our refrigerator with the first tub of margarine. She believed she was protecting her husband and children from the symptoms of a heart attack. She did it with all the love and trust she had in the science of her time. We cannot blame her. We cannot blame our entire generation. We were simply the victims of a great deception. For being a toxic, artificial product, disguised as a health solution, and causing untold damage to generations, I declare the defendant, margarine containing trans fats, guilty. The empowering solution: return to what is real. Return to what our grandmothers recognized as food. A little bit of real, pure butter, used in moderation, is infinitely better than an artificial Frankenstein product. Use extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil. Trust what comes from the earth, not from a lab. I know this story touches the memories of so many. If you or your family ever chose margarine over butter, thinking you were doing the right thing, please comment with the number 3 below. Let us acknowledge our past together to build a healthier future. The betrayer of the century has been convicted. But the next enemy is a killer of convenience. It's the companion to our hurried lunches, our quick sandwiches. A seemingly harmless friend that hides a dark secret of chemical preservatives and cancer risks. Join me as we uncover it next. Let me ask you an honest question: what did you have for lunch today? Was it a sandwich hastily thrown together with a few slices of ham? A couple of hot dogs to get you through the afternoon? Or maybe a salad with some bacon bits sprinkled on top for extra flavor? Convenience. In this hurried world, it feels like a gift, a savior on our busiest days. But, have you ever stopped for a second to ask what the real price of that convenience is? Today, we are going to settle a long overdue bill. The bill for all those quick and easy meals. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I call to the stand a defendant present in almost every refrigerator in the country. Defendant number 3, processed meats. This includes ham, hot dogs, bacon, salami, etc. The charge: this defendant sold us the promise of speed, and in return, it silently stole something infinitely more precious, our healthy years. This is no longer meat in the true sense. It is a product of chemical engineering, designed for a long shelf life, but one that shortens the lifespan of its consumers. The evidence is undeniable. First, the chemical cocktail. Why do these meats have such an appealing pink color and last for weeks on end? The answer lies in 2 chemicals, nitrates and nitrites. They are powerful preservatives that keep the meat from spoiling and give it an attractive color. But when they enter our bodies, these chemicals can transform into nitrosamines, a notoriously carcinogenic compound. Essentially, we are eating something designed to deceive our eyes, an impostor of freshness. Second, the verdict from the World Health Organization, WHO. This isn't just my opinion. This is a global fact. After reviewing over 800 studies, the World Health Organization came to a shocking conclusion: they classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. Do you know what else is in Group 1? Tobacco and asbestos. Yes, you heard that right. The level of evidence for their cancer-causing potential is ranked in the same category. And it's not just cancer, these chemicals also cause inflammation and oxidative stress, directly damaging the walls of our blood vessels and contributing to worsening high blood pressure. I was a busy teacher. There were days my lunch was just a quick sandwich in the faculty lounge. It was fast. It was easy. It gave me more time to prepare lessons. I thought it was a smart trade-off. Worse, I packed these same meats into my children's lunchboxes for school. I thought I was giving them protein to grow. But now, looking back, I realize I was planting seeds of risk into the future of the very people I love most. That regret is a heavy one. For being a product filled with toxic chemicals, proven to be carcinogenic, and detrimental to cardiovascular health, despite its convenient appearance, I declare the defendant, processed meats, guilty. The empowering solution: choose real meat. The solution isn't to stop eating sandwiches. It's to be smarter about what you put in them. Instead of processed deli meats, use leftover chicken breast from last night's dinner. Use canned tuna or salmon packed in water. Or simply boil a few eggs. They are also quick, but they are real food, not a chemical product. Is convenience a trap that you or your family often fall into? If the answer is yes, please comment with the number 4 below. This acknowledgement is the first step we take together towards change. The enemy of convenience has been exposed. But the next defendant is perhaps the most cunning. It is a master of psychology. It hides in a cool tub of low-fat yogurt, promising us strong bones and a slim waistline, but it conceals a sweet truth, and is deadly. Prepare for a hard truth in the next segment. Imagine a salesman comes to your door. He says, "I have a wonderful deal for you. Give me the enemy called fat that's hiding in your refrigerator. In exchange, I will give you a new friend, who looks very friendly and promises to give you strong bones and a slim waist." Sounds like a great bargain, doesn't it? We, as an entire generation, agreed to this trade. We gleefully banished fat from our diets. But we never stopped to ask one crucial question: who really is this new friend we just welcomed into our homes? Today, we will unmask that new friend. We will expose the true nature of the trade of the century. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I call to the stand a defendant who has captured the trust of dieters all over the world. Defendant number 2, flavored low-fat yogurt. The charge: this defendant is a master of psychology. It exploited our fear of fat to execute a fraudulent exchange. It took away one thing and replaced it with something exponentially worse, turning a once healthy food into a glorified dessert in disguise. The evidence is undeniable. First, the flavor lie. Here is a simple truth in the food industry: fat provides flavor and a creamy texture. When you remove the fat from a product like yogurt, it becomes bland, sour, and has the consistency of paste. Nobody wants to eat that. So what must manufacturers do to sell their product? They have to compensate. And they compensate with the cheapest, most addictive weapon they have: sugar. Lots and lots of sugar. Second, the sweet, brutal truth. A small container of this low-fat strawberry yogurt can contain up to 25 grams of sugar. Do you know how much sugar is in this frosted donut? About 15 grams. Yes, you heard that correctly. You think you're choosing a healthy snack, but you are actually consuming nearly twice the sugar of a donut. This massive sugar load causes insulin spikes, promotes inflammation, contributes to high blood pressure, and is direct fuel for plaque in your arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack symptoms. My wife, Martha, was always the most careful one with her health. After hearing about the dangers of fat, she replaced her beloved full-fat yogurt with this low-fat version. Every single day. She thought she was doing the best thing for her heart. And I watched her do it and felt proud of her. We were both deceived. We fell right into a perfectly laid trap. Looking back, the feeling of helplessness, knowing that you and your partner were on the wrong path for years. It's truly heartbreaking. For deceiving consumers by swapping fat for a massive amount of sugar, turning a nutritious food into a menace for cardiovascular health, I declare the defendant, flavored low-fat yogurt, guilty. The empowering solution: return to purity. The solution is incredibly simple and delicious. Choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. It's creamy, rich in protein and healthy fats. And then, become the artist. Add what you love: a few fresh berries, a sprinkle of nuts, a small spoonful of real honey. You have total control, and you have truly nourishing food. Did the fact that a low-fat yogurt can have more sugar than a donut surprise you? If it did, please comment with the number 5 below. Just a number, so I know this important message has reached you. 6 defendants have been convicted. We are very close to the final truth. The one at the top of the list. The mastermind behind all the conspiracies. It is not a specific food. It is a ghost. A ghost that hides in over 70% of all packaged foods. It has dozens of different names to hide behind. And I would bet that right now, it is present in your kitchen. Who is the final betrayer? The answer is next. 6 defendants. 6 charges. 6 confessions. Throughout this trial, we have exposed them one by one. But when I take a step back and look at the entire crime scene, I realize a terrifying truth. None of them acted alone. They are all connected. There is an invisible thread that ties all of these crimes together. There is a mastermind pulling the strings from behind the curtain, a godfather of the processed food world who profits from every deception. He is not a food. He is a ghost. A ghost with dozens of aliases: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, sucrose. He hides in the places we would never expect. And today, we drag that ghost into the light. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you public enemy number 1 for our collective health. The final and most dangerous defendant: hidden sugar. The charge: this defendant is a silent invader. It has secretly infiltrated over 70% of all packaged foods, turning seemingly harmless items into weapons of inflammation, directly fueling the most devastating chronic diseases of our time. The evidence is undeniable. First, the Trojan horse in your kitchen. We all know the sugar in candy and soda is an enemy. But that is an enemy that shows its face. Hidden sugar is infinitely more dangerous because it is a spy, a Trojan horse. Where does it hide? In savory foods. In your bottle of ketchup. In your jar of healthy salad dressing. In a slice of sandwich bread. In a jar of pasta sauce. We eat these things without any defense. We throw open the gates of Troy, not knowing they are filled with enemy soldiers. Second, the smoldering fire, chronic inflammation. This is why it is enemy number one. Sugar, especially refined fructose, when consumed in large doses without its natural fiber, triggers a body-wide inflammatory response. Imagine it as a smoldering fire, day after day, burning your blood vessels from the inside out. This fire damages the delicate lining of your arteries, creating scars and rough surfaces where bad cholesterol can cling and form plaque. This is the very root of cardiovascular disease and the underlying reason why high blood pressure never seems to go away. When I was lying in that hospital bed, I tried to find the one silver bullet that took me down. Was it that can of soup? Or the margarine I ate for decades? But I was wrong. My enemy wasn't a single bullet. It was an acid rain, a daily shower of hidden sugar, slowly eroding my health without my knowledge. The most dangerous enemy isn't the monster roaring in front of you, it's the one who whispers poisonous sweet nothings in your ear every day. Hidden sugar is that whisperer. For being the mastermind behind the majority of chronic diseases, for its sophisticated camouflage, and for causing devastating inflammation, I declare the defendant, hidden sugar, guilty. The ultimate empowering solution, the most important weapon. You don't need to memorize this entire list. You only need one skill to win this war: become a savvy label reader. And here is your weapon, my 5-finger rule: before you buy anything packaged, look at the first 5 ingredients. If sugar, or one of its many aliases, is in the top 5, put it down. It's that simple. This is the skill that will protect you more than any medicine ever could. Did this truth about the hidden enemy change the way you see the food in your kitchen? If it did, please comment with the number 6 below. Your vote is a declaration of war against this deception. The trial is over. The indictment has been read. The guilty have been exposed. But the most important battle, your battle, is just beginning. And I will not send you into that fight alone. In the final segment, I will give you the toolkit, the roadmap, so you can clean up your own crime scene and turn your kitchen into an impenetrable fortress. Stay with me. The trial is over. The charges have been read. And the truth, as hard as it is, has finally been revealed. Right now, you might be looking around your own kitchen with a strange feeling. A little overwhelmed. A little angry for being deceived for so long. Maybe even a little confused, not knowing where to begin. Your familiar kitchen might suddenly look like a battlefield, filled with landmines. I understand that feeling. I have been exactly where you are now. But today, I want you to look at that battlefield in a new light. See it as a blank slate. An opportunity to rewrite your own health story. An opportunity to turn a place once filled with betrayers into an impenetrable fortress. And you will not have to build that fortress alone. Throughout this trial, I have played the role of a prosecutor. But now, that role is over. Now, I want to be your partner. I want to give you the map and the tools that took me years to figure out on my own. We were once passive consumers, trusting the advertising and unknowingly harming ourselves. Now, imagine a tomorrow where you walk into your kitchen and feel peace and confidence. Where you know for certain that every food you touch is an ally, helping to build a strong heart and a long life. Where you are in complete control. And the bridge to take you from today to that tomorrow. I have already built it for you. I have spent weeks preparing a special gift for our community. I call it Harold's Kitchen Declaration of Independence. This is not just a list. It is a simple rulebook, a declaration of your health sovereignty. Inside, you will find the indictment of the 7 enemies, a summary of the 7 dangerous food groups and why they are guilty. A list of trusted allies, safe, delicious, and easy-to-find replacement foods. My 5-finger rule, a simple weapon to take with you to the grocery store, helping you spot hidden sugar in just 5 seconds. This toolkit is yours. It is completely free. It's my thank you for taking this journey with me. Click the first link in the description below to download it instantly. And remember, this fight is much easier with allies. Join our Live Healthy with Harold Facebook group. It's a place where we don't judge, we share our small victories, our new recipes, and encourage each other every day. Today, we have completed an important trial together. If this journey has lit a fire of hope in you, a determination to change, please comment with the number 7 below. The number 7, a symbol for the completion of this trial and the beginning of your new, healthy chapter. Thank you for being my jury today. Thank you for listening to my story. Remember, you are more powerful than you think, and you deserve to live in complete health. We will walk this journey together. Live healthy.